it doesn't set the unit back.
He can do enough, but I always look at things as, here's a chance for Marquise Pear. Here's a chance for some guys to really step up their play, and that, there's progress being made by Tiny, but those other guys, they've got to always have the mindset that I'm a starter. That's what happens, and that's the hardest thing with offensive line is you all know there's 5 guys they line up with. Not like D-line where they rotate them. Well, those second team guys have got to have the sense of urgency that they're first team guys. So I always look at things in an injury to where, as much as it may initially be a negative, it's a positive because I put the emphasis on that guy that says, it's your time. It's your time, and you got to approach it that way. Whether it's, Matt Crowder at center, whether it's, Kyler Kerbison at tackle with Jawan, all those things that, hey, your sense of urgency's got to be great every day because it's not fast.
Obviously, Coach Gillespie and his unit has to work closely with your unit. I mean, can you talk about, and he didn't have a long time to transition, can you talk about how you guys have worked together and sort of how that process is coming along?
Sure. He gets it. There's no question about it. I mean, it was a perfect fit in terms of just the immediate and the gel and all those things, and understanding how things time in, the offense in which he comes from. Again, it all gets back to really what language you're speaking. It's the same, similar type stuff. Now, how are we teaching it? So we're all on the same page. He's an extremely sharp guy. I really enjoy working with him. A very good friend of mine was an offensive line coach with him. Let me know in terms of just, hey, it's going to be a home run, and it sure has been. I mean, the guys, the way we've worked, whether it be blitz pickup, now obviously watching the film for the run game, all those type things. Love working with him, and he gets it, and he gets it fast.
You mentioned Marquise Pear a minute ago. That's a guy who he's always kind of athletically looked like he had the mold to evolve into a pretty good player down the road. But his name wasn't mentioned a lot the past couple of years. We haven't heard much about him. What have been your impressions of him?
I've been, here's the thing is the guys that once we started this offseason, we had guys that have had a long time off, and we had some guys who were carrying some weight that they didn't need to carry. And the first thing I told him was show your sign of commitment with how much weight you're losing by what's being instructed by Coach Lawson. He's done that. He's been all in. He's had a heck of a semester to this point academically. His weight's been lost. And I told him, I said, we're a new staff. Everything, you're starting from ground zero. I don't care what's happened in the past. I can't wait to coach Marquise Pear. I don't know what you've done. All I know is you're here now, and I want to coach and get the best out of you. And so far, we're going to go watch the film, but I like the way he's attacked things off the field, in the weight room, and right now with us. So, you know what? Hey, the guys we have, we got to coach them. We got to coach them hard. That's just, and I'm pleased with what I've seen because of the effort he's shown, the commitment he's shown.
Has that lost weight shown itself across your offensive line with the urgency of practice and the tempo?
I think so, and it really, before the practice part of it, we had it where we had our tough, what we call standard periods, where I said, some of these guys aren't going to make it through because they're too heavy. It's going to really have a toll on them. They made it through that. And I said, guys, you really understand it. You can't carry that much weight. You don't need to carry that much weight. We had a guy weighed 362. He's down to 340. Jawan James was 337. He's down to 317. That's weight that, you don't have to win with 337. And whether it's our offense, whether it's whatever offense, to be functional, powerful, and violent, and you can be that.
Do you think they were bigger than other offensive linemen in the league, or is this just something that Butch Jones has noticed through his coaching career, where he wants them to be? Where do they fall now with losing the weight on par with the rest of the league?
I really haven't engaged it as of yet right now with the league just focusing on us. I just looked at it from the standpoint of our relationship with Coach Lawson in years past, in 6 years, that, entrusting in him with, hey, you know what, he can afford to lose one. Now, here's the thing. We finished spring ball. I said, you know what, Tiny, you can play 324. You can play 330. Because the way he was able to, perform this spring, those types. So that's kind of the gauge right now when we work off of to say, hey, yeah, the weight can come up.
I know you're looking at today and tomorrow and 2013, but in the back of your mind, do you ever think 2014, we're going to need a lot of these young guys.
Always.
I'll get an extended look at them this spring.
Always.
Is that in that sense, is it a big spring for some of those younger guys?
Absolutely. It's like I said. I get excited, and I brought Crowder, Kerbison, and Posey, and I said, and even Pear and Marcus Jackson. I said, what discussion are we going to have a year from now? Right up my office. What discussion are we going to have a year from now? Where are we going to be in a year from now? I said, because sometimes, like, again, those 5 guys that start, if the other second group, they kind of think, oh, maybe it's so far away. No, it's next year. It's your question is a great question, and it's now. It's now. So the urgency, that's why incoming freshmen say, I'm going to redshirt. No, don't think that way, because when you think you're going to redshirt, then you think 2 years down the road, and your urgency isn't as great. It's right now. So it's a good question, but absolutely. I mean, the pedal is on the, push the pedal to the metal with those guys completely.